Hi, it's Lori from Coast to Coast Craft Girls, coming to you from the West Coast. Today I wanted to share a really cute birthday card that I made. It's relatively flat, but it's fun. It just opens up like that. But it's just screams happy birthday, obviously, with your stamping, with your embossing, and then a nice ice cream cone on the top. From this die set is from In Love Arts, but you could use any die set you have, or a sticker, or whatever you want. So let me show you how it's made. So I started with a 6x6 card blank. If you don't have a 6x6, it's 12x6, scored in the middle, fold it 6x6, but I already had a 6x6. I did cut a matte layer or two matte layers, the pink and then the plaid. This plaid is from the Crafter's Companion Celebrations paper pad. The pink is just shy of 6x6 and the plaid is just like a 1/4 inch smaller than that. And then I stamped happy birthday down each side using a stamp from Sheena. It's from Sheena's Watercolor Fusion, this happy birthday. It's a nice big stamp. And then I used the Lisa Horton Love Struck metallic pigment ink down each side. And that's going to go on on the inside layer, but I'm not going to put that on just yet. I'm going to open this card up because I want to cut down those side panels, because I'm going to remove those side panels. So I'm going to cut with a nice, pretty decorative edge. And I've got these edgeables. I actually have two of them. I don't know why I have two of them. They came from Crafter's Companion, and I think they came in one of the craft kits, but you can use any edgeable that you want. And we're just going to cut down the sides like that. Now what I did is I wanted I wanted about 1.5 inches on each side so that my happy birthday shows. And these dies are about 1/2 inch wide. And because if I marked it at 1.5 inches, it's just hard to see. So what I did is I put a little pencil mark 2 inches in on each side. So it's at the two inches in on each side. And that way I'm going to line up the bottom of the die with those pencil marks, and then I can erase the pencil marks. But I just found it was easier to see when it's like that. Okay, so we're going to cut it just like that. So let me get my plates and I'll line this up. And you can use any edgeable die you want. This is just, I wanted something that wasn't too deep this way, but that gave me a really fun edgeable look that, you know, because it's an ice cream cone, and so I wanted it to look sort of fun and, I don't know, ice cream like, ice cream parlor kind of feel, and I thought this one looked like it. So we're going to line that up. And since I have two of them, I can cut them both at the same time. If you don't have two of the same edgeable, just cut one and then, you know, flip it over and cut the other. And then to release that, I'm just going to take my scissors and cut on the back side of that score line right up to the edge. And that releases that center. Now let me get those circles out of there. Now I was planning on cutting the same die in pink, but I'm thinking I don't really need to. So I cut a piece of white cardstock that is 2 inches by about 5 3/4. And I ran it through this old embossing folder that I have from Probocraft. It's Happy Birthday. I don't know if you can kind of see that. Let me put something under it. Maybe it's easier to see. I don't know. There. Looks like that. I love that. I use this embossing folder a lot. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ink this because I don't want it that stark white. And I've got a water reactive pink tulip ink pad. And I'm just going to give it a little bit of pink around the edges and to pick up that embossing. And I'm going to put that right in the middle. Let me go ahead and put my matte layer underneath and then we'll decide. So that's going to go there, that's going to go there. Yeah, I think I want this in pink. So what I did is, these are scraps left over from cutting the back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut each of them with my edgeable die, sort of right on the edge, right where it was. And I'm going to line up that top just about, and I don't know if you can see, there's just a little bit of an edge because I lined this up with the top of my card. So I'm going to line this one up just a little bit over that. And this way I don't have to try and get both of them perfect at the same time because this piece is going to go in the middle. So I'll put one on one side and one on the other, and then you won't really be able to tell that it's two different pieces. Now you could have put this card on first, like I've done before, and cut it just all at once. And that works. I'm going to glue this on there, right on top. And I'm just going to put one on top and one on underneath. There we go. And that gives me my bottom piece. And I'm going to put my embossed piece on top, but I'm going to put that on some foam pads. And I'm going to go ahead and put my back piece on. Now you could write your message here on the back there. If you wanted to put a little piece of white cardstock, this is light enough that you could write right on there, but you could put a little piece of white cardstock with the sentiment in the middle if you wanted to. Now for my decoration, I cut an ice cream cone out of white cardstock, and this is from In Love Arts. It's called the ice cream cone die. This particular die is not available anymore, I don't believe, but they have an ice cream cone. It's just got a different base. It's got like a pointy base for the ice cream cone instead of this flat base, but it's essentially the same. So just search for ice cream cone on In Love Arts, or you can use a cupcake die, you could use a cake die, you could use balloons. I mean, anything really, anything that's birthday related. And then I just did some inking, and I made my ice cream pink and yellow, and I did that because it's got pink and yellow in that card. And then this die's got like a little candy and a strawberry and a cherry that I colored. I colored these with my alcohol ink pads, but I'm just going to put these on with my 3D glue. Actually, I'll use my foam pads for this. And then I've got a strawberry and a cherry that I'm going to tuck. It's going to be in my ice, kind of like it's tucked into the ice cream. And this ice cream has the embossing lines actually kind of cut, little slits almost. So you can kind of tuck your little cherry and strawberry right into the ice cream, which I actually really like. So it looks like it's actually kind of tucked into the cone, which is perfect. It's exactly what I want. Just like that. And we're all done. Isn't that cute? I love that. So much fun. It does stand up, you know, but it looks like that. And you can write your message right here down the middle. But you've got your sentiment, you've got your happy birthday back here. And again, if you don't have an ice cream cone, this one is from In Love Arts. If you don't have a die, use balloons, use a cupcake, use a cake, use whatever you like to use for birthdays. So, thanks for watching.